Hello and welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. If you're watching us online, then this is the first time you've seen us in a couple of years actually on camera. This is because we're in our new Radio 731 podcast room where we'll be actually having video, and if you're on the move or on the go, you can also listen online. So we are happy to have someone who is not a stranger to our show, Margaret Taylor, who is Executive Director of A Step Ahead West Tennessee. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I feel a little awkward though. I'm like, where do I look?
Right there at that camera right there.
All right, gotcha.
You're here today to tell us about A Step Ahead West Tennessee, and for those who are just tuning in for the first time, tell our listeners and our viewers what A Step Ahead Foundation of West Tennessee is.
Okay, we're a nonprofit organization founded to increase the educational outcomes of young women, decrease poverty in young women through educational efforts about their lives, planning efforts, and also by removing barriers for them to get long-acting removable contraception, better known as LARC.
Okay.
And we remove the barriers because we know that it's the most expensive contraception on the market.
Right.
And our founder, Judge Claudia Haltom, sat as a juvenile court judge and saw young women after young women come into her courtroom that had major plans for life, but an unintended pregnancy changed those plans or totally derailed those plans.
Right.
And she would ask them, okay, you have this child now. Are you on birth control or contraceptive of some type? And she said everybody would just say, I'm on the pill. And she would ask them, have you taken the pill? And she said in 17 years, not one person had taken that pill.
Wow.
And the pill is only as good as you take it every single day at the same time every day.
Right.
And then there's also the effects that if you get sick and take antibiotics, your pill becomes null and void.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
And there are a lot of babies that are born when somebody's sick. So,
Wow.
or conceived when someone
Right.
is sick.
Right.
And so, yes, she thought, there's got to be a better way to get women to get a step ahead in life. And so she founded the organization to do that, to
Okay.
help women get that step ahead in life.
How did you become involved with A Step Ahead West Tennessee?
Well, it was just interesting. A friend of mine contacted me and said, you are such a women's advocate and children's advocate. I think that you needed to take on this job.
Right.
And so I met with the board and everything, and they said, yeah, we want you to do it. So
Right.
that's how I got here. But I've always been an advocate for women and children. I believe that women deserve every opportunity. I believe that women can do anything that they want to do in life as long as they're given the right training, the right resources, and the right opportunity.
That's right.
And so with LARC, we're giving them the opportunity. We're not giving them the resources, but we are giving them the opportunity to do the things that they want to do in life, to reach the goals that they want to do, the plans that they have. We do a lot of planning with young women when we do our girls talk and our real talk sessions and everything. And we do that because we want them to think past the idea of, I want to be a doctor,
Right.
to more of, how do you get there?
Right.
It
right.
takes steps to get there.
Right.
And so having goals is wonderful. Everybody should have them, but you got to know the steps to get there. And so we
Right.
try to help young women make those steps, realize those steps, and understand they've got to take those steps one at a time. And that's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in a year. It's going to take time for them to reach those major goals.
That's
Now, for some, their goal is to become an esthetician. That's wonderful.
Right.
That takes time too. And you've got to get your education. No matter what you want to do in life to be successful, you've got to have some sort of training.
That's right.
And so that's what we try to do, is give them the opportunity by providing the best contraception on the market, removing every barrier. We provide transportation if they need it to get it, and everything is free. They don't pay for a thing.
Okay.
So that they can get to where they want to get to
Right.
before they start having children and can successfully plan their family like they want.
Right. Can you tell us about the the types of birth control that's
Sure.
covered in by this organization?
Yes, mainly we work with the LARC methods, which are long-acting removable contraception, and there are there's two different types.
Okay.
Some are hormonal, and some are non-hormonal. And the hormonal type is what we see that younger women choose, and it's the type that goes actually in your arm.
Okay.
And it's a little small rod, no more than an inch. And it is implanted by a physician.
Okay.
You can't just have anybody doing this. You've
Right.
got to have the specialist doing this.
Right.
And so it's implanted, and once it's implanted, it's good for 3 to 6 years.
Wow.
Yes, so you don't have to worry about pregnancy for that long because these methods are 99.9% effective.
Right.
The only thing more effective is abstinence.
Right.
The other, then there's another type of hormonal implant, and that is the IUD, and it's planted in the uterus.
Okay.
And once it's planted there, it lasts for 6 years as well.
Okay.
And so you get these methods, you forget it. You don't have to do anything else but have the method.
Right.
Remember when you got to get it changed out, and that's all you've got to do.
Right.
Then the non-hormonal method is called the Paragard, and it's also an IUD, but it lasts for 12 years.
Okay.
So it lasts a long time. You can get it. And for those women that cannot tolerate extra hormones in their body, which there are several women that can't,
Right.
then this is the perfect method for them because they get it. They still don't have to rely on anything else. This is it. That
Right.
once they get it, they're good for 12 years. And I've met several women that are in their 7th and 8th year of having their Paragard, and they say they just absolutely love it. There's freedom. They said there's freedom with these methods because you're not tied to a pill. You're not tied to, oh my gosh, did we pick up condoms? We're not
Right.
tied to, did I put that patch on? How long has that patch been on?
Right.
Those sorts of things. You
Right.
get this method once, and it's good for years.
Right.
How much better can you get?
Right. Right. Speaking of contraception and wondering about are you getting pregnant or not, how does the recent decision overturning of Roe versus Wade affect the service that you all provide? Does
Makes it more important than
Okay.
ever because we are totally prevention. That's all we do. So our goal is to prevent any unintended pregnancies.
Right.
So July 1st, it was like the 1st of July, our phones would not stop ringing. People wanting to get methods because of the decision that was made. So our work now is more important than it ever was.
Right.
Because we can prevent those unintended pregnancies and we don't have to worry about anything else. Once you
Right.
get it, you've got it. So yes, it has had a major impact on the work that we do, and we know that's why we're trying to get more education out there
Right.
in the community about these methods because we don't want women to have that unintended pregnancy and be faced with, the consequences of that. So.
Right. You mentioned some community programs that you all have, Girl Talk, Empowered Teen Council, and Real Talk. Can you
Yes.
tell us about each of those programs?
Sure. Girl Talk is a five session. Usually we do it over 5 weeks, one night a week or 1 day a week or whatever. In the summer we did it 1 day a week, and it's a five lessons, and it's focused more toward the younger girl, like 9 to 10 up to
Okay.
15.
Mhm.
And it's all about education about their bodies. Young women at that age that we have found don't know a lot about their hygiene. And so we talk about hygiene. We bring everything that they need, everything we're going to talk about. We have an example of it
Okay.
to show them so that they will know what we're talking about. And we did a recent session here in Jackson, and we got to the part where we're talking about deodorant. And this was a mom and daughter session of Girl Talk.
Right.
And the moms in the back room were saying, say that again. They need the deodorant. Tell them again. They need the deodorant.
Right.
So, education about basic stuff, education about their bodies, education about consent. What is consent? We talk about bullying and how to handle that situation. We talk about self-esteem, making sure they understand that they are important.
Right.
They're here for a reason. reason.
Right.
There's something in them that's unique and special,
Mm-hmm.
and we want them to find out what that is.
Right.
So we do 5 sessions of that.
Okay.
We talk about reproductive health, but we don't talk about the methods with
Okay.
them. Then we have Real Talk. Real Talk is really focused for that college age and up.
Okay.
So we will go to college campuses, we will go to civic groups, we will go anywhere to educate about that.
Okay.
We also work with ASPL Recovery in trying to educate those women that are in recovery there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about we get down to really nuts and bolts of contraception and about bodies and,
Right.
and that sort of thing, so that we're talking to an adult audience, and so we know that we're free to really explain everything,
Right.
and hopefully they can ask any questions that they want and we can answer it. If we can't answer it right then, we will get back to them with an answer. If it's something beyond our scope of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
then we're not going to try to just fake it. We're
Right.
going to go and ask a physician about it and bring that back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Empowered Teen Council is something that just started this past Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, we started with a group of high school seniors, about 35 of them,
Okay.
from all the different public high schools in Jackson.
Okay.
And we work with them every other week on different topics. And our goal is to prepare them for college life.
Okay.
We're doing a college readiness program
Mhm.
because there's so many things. You think about going to college, and all we know is we're going to college.
Right.
That's all we know. We're going to
Right.
college. What
Right.
is college?
Right.
You know,
Right.
what are you going to do when you get there?
Right.
And you think sometimes that it's going to be just like high school, just an extension.
Mm-mm.
But
Nope.
it's not at all.
No.
You know, there's nobody there to wake you up to make
That's
sure
right.
you get to class.
That's right.
So we work on that. There's nobody there to tell you get your homework.
Mhm.
It's on you.
Right.
Your professors give you deadline, and you have to meet those.
Mhm.
There's nobody there to dish out that money for that hamburger and
That's
Coke
right.
that you
That's
want.
right.
You know, we talk about money management,
Mhm.
time management.
Mhm.
We talk, you know, we bring in people. We do a whole month on the financial literacy because we know young women don't always know those things. There may be a few in the group that are aware of it,
Right.
but most of them don't know the benefit of having a checking account,
Mhm.
or how to even balance a checking account,
Right.
how to really know how much money you've got, and have you planned out how you're going to spend that money. You know,
Mhm.
that money's got to last a whole month.
Right.
Is it going to make it? You know,
Right,
what are you
right,
going to do if it
right.
doesn't? So we talk about that. We also talk about the methods because we want them to know they don't have to go to school and drop out because of an unintended pregnancy. We
Right.
want them to reach their goals.
Mhm.
So we talk about all the methods. We talk about suicide
Mhm.
prevention.
Mhm.
We talk about drugs and alcohol. We talk about sorority life,
Mhm.
you know, the pros and the cons of that.
Right.
Because, you know, you've heard people will hear, oh, I want to be a Delta, I want to be AKA.
Right.
But there's a lot involved in those things.
Right.
And they need to know those things before they decide. And then there's a financial aspect to that people
Mhm.
don't know.
Mhm.
And they may not have the funds for that. So they have to learn to plan for those type of things.
Right.
We will, this year, hopefully we'll be able to take a tour. COVID has prevented us from taking tours of the local colleges.
Right.
So we want to take them around to the different colleges here because even though everybody says they want to go away from home,
Mhm.
there may be a college here that fits their needs.
Right.
And so we want them to be aware of what's in the colleges
Mhm.
and what they're like around
Mhm.
here in Jackson, Tennessee, because it could save money. You
Yeah.
know, if you don't get all the scholarship money you think you're going to get, it could save money.
Right.
So we try to take them on a tour, and at the end of the year, we have an actual graduation ceremony from the program.
Okay.
We provide 2 scholarships
Mhm.
for 2 of the young women. We have an essay contest that they do, and we pick 2 winners out of that essay contest to get a scholarship
Okay.
for their school of choice, wherever they're going. We send the funds to the school and everything.
Mhm.
And we feel like they walk away more empowered,
Mhm.
more educated, more able to make decisions on their own.
Mhm.
We've had young women come back and tell us, that money thing saved my life. I did
Right.
not know, you know, all the things that, you know, everybody want to eat pizza every night, you
Right.
know, and that sort of thing.
Right,
And,
right.
you know, and then the ones that said, you know, you told me about the parties and how, you know,
Mhm.
things could happen at the parties.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad I knew that I could, you know, call somebody and get out of there
Right.
and everything. And so, you know, we talk about all of that
Sure.
to prepare them because college life is fun.
Yeah.
It was the greatest years of my life. I admit I love my college time and everything, but it's also can be a very dangerous time if
Right.
you don't know what to expect and
Right.
what to do. And we don't want women failing out because of finances. So we
Right.
want to make sure they know about their finances and everything else we can think of that's college based that they need to know. So those are the three main programs that we operate.
Okay.
We do our basic education just on our methods to civic groups. We'll go out and talk to them about the methods, and a lot of women will say, "Oh, I don't need that." But I turn around and ask, "Well, don't you have a daughter?
Mm-hmm.
What about a granddaughter?
Mm-hmm.
What about a niece?" Everybody knows somebody that has a child, a young,
Right.
that's in reproductive age, that may need these methods.
Right.
And so we try to educate them so that they can go back and educate their nieces, their granddaughters, that sort of thing. And we find that once we do that, women are like, "Whoa, I didn't think about that. I'm just
Right.
thinking about self."
Right.
Well,
right.
yeah, but don't you want your granddaughter to succeed, And so we talk about all of that.
All right. Well, all those wonderful programs have to be supported some way, right?
Funded.
Right.
And with the increase in the number of calls comes an increase in the amount of money
Right.
that we have to be able to have to pay for the methods that we need to pay for.
Right.
And we're glad to do that, and we'll continue to do that as long as we have funding. But one way that we do fund is our vintage ball.
Okay.
Coming up September the 8th, going to be at the New Southern Hotel.
Okay.
Same place we had it last year. And I just tell you, it is just a fun fundraiser. There's nothing heavy about it. We have hors d'oeuvres. Lane College will be catering our event again this
Okay.
year. They do wonderfully with that. We have Gloria White and Just Friends will be our live music.
Okay.
And last year was their first year to do that for us, and they had the women dancing all over the place, from 21 to 86 out there dancing. I'm
Right.
telling you, it's a women's only event, so we're dancing with each other. And I last year I thought, and I asked the group, because I know that a lot of those women that come there are married. And I said, well, I've been thinking about making this a co-ed event so that,
Right.
you can bring a date.
Right.
And those women nearly ran me out of the New Southern. They were like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, okay. We want our night."
Right.
So this is their night.
Right,
And so we are, selling tickets on Eventbrite. They can call the office if they have any questions. Our phone number is 731-695-9966.
Okay.
And get any information. I had a call last night. It was so funny. I was getting ready to. Actually, I was at home, and I had the phones forwarded to me for some reason, and I got a call. I think it was 9:30 last night, and I'm preparing for bed, and this woman said, "I want to know about the vintage ball." So
Right.
we sat and had a good conversation about it, and hopefully she will show up. And the tickets are only $40.
Okay.
There are a lot of fundraisers that are a lot more.
Right.
But this is something, we know we're a small organization and a lot of people don't know about us. So we're hoping that this will help spread the word about us as
Right.
well as raise funds. Also at the event, we have something that's very unique, and I'm proud of that, and that is our Miss Vintage West Tennessee
Okay.
pageant.
All right.
In the middle of everything that's going on, all the dancing and the eating and the silent auction that we have, we stop and we have a pageant of about 15 or 20 of the participants. And they are dressed in their finest vintage wear, from the 20s to the 40s to the 60s to the whatever.
Right.
I have found some young women that are in their 20s that think the 90s are vintage now. And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." But so yeah, we have a pageant, and they strut their stuff so everybody can see them, and then the MC asks them a question just like they do on a regular pageant.
Right.
They answer that question, and we have a little set of judges that will pick the new Miss Vintage West Tennessee
Okay.
for 2022. She walks away with a crown and a sash. So it's so different.
Right.
We do something different than other people do. And I think that's why the ladies like it is because they can do anything. They can hang out with anybody.
Right.
They don't have to worry about their husband if he's having a good time or
Right,
not.
right.
They don't have to worry about their husband if he wants to dance or not. They can get out there and just go at it
Right.
and have a good time.
That's
and it's a major fundraiser for us, and so we are hoping. We still have some sponsorships available. We would love for people to sponsor us. Sponsorships go from $500 all the way up to $3,000.
Okay.
And so give us a call if you're interested in helping to support the work that we're doing, because the funding from this goes to support the Empowered Teen Council.
Okay.
That's what it goes to support. We found that was the only way we could support that was through a fundraiser.
Okay.
And that allows us to do the scholarships. It allows us to feed the girls, because you're talking about senior girls that are just gotten out of school,
Right,
and they
right.
come to us hungry.
Right.
And we have tried everything, but the most important thing they want is pizza. Every time we have to dish out for pizza. So you're feeding 35 girls with pizza.
Right,
It's costing me
yeah.
some money every
Right,
time.
right.
But we're glad to do it, because we know that if their bellies are full, they're going to be more attentive,
Mhm.
and they're going to hear what we've got to say, and they'll be more interactive, and they will learn. And that's
Right.
our goal, is for them to take away some nuggets of information that they can use when they get to that college campus, whatever campus that is. When they get there, they will know, okay, they told me about this,
Right.
and this is what I can do,
Right.
So it's important to have the vintage ball. This is our third year to have it. We didn't
Okay.
get to have it in 2020, of
Right.
course, because of COVID.
Right.
But we are looking forward to having it again. And also, we have another unique thing.
Okay.
Judge York, he is a federal judge here
Okay.
at the West, at our federal court here. He has a 1975 drop top black Cadillac
Mhm.
that he brings down and lets the women take pictures in.
That's awesome.
That car takes up 3 parking spaces.
Wow.
That's how long those cars used to be. And it's heavy.
Mhm.
You open the door and it's like, oh, you're
Right.
struggling with it, because it's made of real metal.
Right.
It's metal. It's heavy, steel and everything. And it's just shined up to, I mean, it is just beautiful. And he allows us to get in it and take pictures and everything, take pictures beside it or whatever. It's just fun. And the women love that. They're outside. I'm trying to get them back inside after a while, but it's like, no, we got to go out and get another picture. And so
Right.
they love it. I mean, they just have, like I said, it is just total fun.
Right.
We just have total fun. We don't do anything but laugh and dance and eat till our bellies are full. There'll be wine there, of course. We have wine. We've got
Mhm.
people that are donating that. A lot of things are donated for us and everything. We appreciate those donors. But, we do have to pay for the New Southern. And so we've got to have funds to do that. So
Right.
we need as many funds as we can possibly get to pull this off, and also to support the Empowered Teen Council.
Okay. How does a parent get their daughter into any of these community programs that you all have?
Okay.
That was a question I had.
Okay, just call. Just call 731-695-9966. If you're interested in getting into a Girl Talk session, if we have one that's coming up, we will enroll you. If there's enough interest in your community, we can build one
Mhm.
for if there's a group of girls, or if there's like an after school program,
Right.
Girl Scouts, or we've done it with Keep My Hood Good,
Okay.
with swag. We work with all of those programs. But if you are not a part of that and you want that information, we will try to build one around you,
Okay.
and try to get more girls involved so that we have a group. We can do an individual sessions with her, but we would rather do it in a group. It's more fun in a group.
Right.
There's games and snacks and things like that, so it's a little bit more fun with a group.
Right.
Now, as far as Empowered Teen Council, we rely on the school counselors for that,
Okay.
because we don't know the girls, and so
Right.
we rely on them to send us girls that are interested in going to school, maybe that B student. We don't have to have the valedictorians. We want some girls that want to learn.
Right.
And sometimes if you're that valedictorian, you've got all the scholarship money you really
Mhm,
need.
mhm.
So, we want to help some girls that need our help.
Right.
As far as Real Talk, we will go to any college campus there that wants us to come. We've done Lane, we've done UT Martin. We'll go back there. We would do Union University of Memphis, that's something we're working on
Okay.
this fall, because I see that they've got dorms open, so we can go
Right.
on the dorm floors and do the sessions.
Right.
And it's either 1 or 2 sessions with that, just so that we make sure that we feel like they've got the information,
Right.
and we've answered all questions. And we don't ever embarrass anybody by making them ask a question out loud.
Right.
We just have a hat, and if they got a question, fine. If they don't have a question, they still put a piece of paper in. We pull out and ask the question, and we answer it,
Right.
so that their questions get answered,
Right.
but they don't have to identify.
Be the person that said. Right.
Exactly, because it's a little bit embarrassing sometimes. We don't always, not like me. I always in the classroom. I'm always the one raising my hand.
Well, tell our listeners and viewers one more time about the Vintage Ball. The details for the Vintage Ball and how they can become part of it.
Okay, it's going to be September 8th at the New Southern Hotel, starting at 6 o'clock. Tickets are on Eventbrite. They're only $40. If you want to just get a table of your friends together, whoever goes to buy the tickets on Eventbrite can buy 8 tickets simultaneously, and that will set aside a table specifically for you. The cost is only $40, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you at the New Southern, dressed in your finest vintage attire, whatever that is. I think this year I'm going as Little House on the Prairie.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm going to be doing this year, which is just fun. I think that was in the 1800s, so I'm dressing accordingly for that. But whatever you feel, you can wear something from the 40s. Go to your grandmother's closet and pull out something that she wore when she was younger. Go to the thrift store. Don't spend your money on an outfit. Get something and pull it together, and you will be fine.
Right.
No judgment zone, totally for the night. So we would love to have you there. Come and be a part of such a fun event.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, being our first guest on our now on live on actually showing on camera now. So we'll have this up on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. We'll also be on Spotify and Stitcher and TuneIn for those who want to listen to the
I'm
audio.
going to be all over the place.
Yeah, everywhere. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors, Baskerville Funeral Home and R&R Custom Wheels and Tires Express. We will have links to the Eventbrite page for you to purchase your ticket for the Vintage Ball, get your mother and grandmother and granddaughters and daughters and cousins and aunts and
come on
all
out.
of them and come on out and have fun.
It's so fun when mothers and daughters. Your mom, your wife and your mother-in-law came last year, and they had a good time. They had a really good time. So it's just nothing like it. It's nothing like it nobody else has a fundraiser like this.
Right. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for tuning in and listening. We'll have more great shows for you in the coming weeks, so tune in. If you'd like to be a guest, please go to our Facebook page, Hub City Now, and send me a message, and we'll be happy to get in contact with you all to have you as a guest on the show. So you all take care, have a wonderful and blessed week, and we'll talk to you again next week. God bless.